Africa, Ubuntu, which means that we are all connected in a very real way. When we live Ubuntu, humanity thrives and the world becomes a better place. I share with you, I share with you, you share with me, you share with me. I care for you, I care for you, you care for me, you care for me. That's how the world should be. So much we can do to live and breathe Ubuntu. Speak up for another, stand up for each other.
Time to make a friend, time to make amends. Reach out and bridge the gaps, let the walls of hate collapse.
And build trust, fill lives with hope. What you put into the world will well up and overflow. Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. I for you and you for me. There's unity.
Would you please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Welcome to First Parish in Bedford, a Unitarian Universalist congregation where we come together every week as a people with diverse beliefs and a shared commitment to bring more peace, more love, and more justice into the world. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whether you worship one God, many gods, or no God, you are welcome here. I want to say a special welcome to all of our visitors this morning here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. Here in the sanctuary, you're invited to fill out a blue connection card if you are a visitor, which you'll find at the end of the pews. You can give that to one of the ushers during the collection time or leave it at the welcome table and we will add you to our mailing list. In Zoom, we'll put a link in the chat. You can click on that to fill out a virtual connection card. Parents and caregivers of little ones, there's a nursery available downstairs for your convenience, but we are always delighted to have little ones here in the sanctuary as well. After the service, there will be coffee, tea, and fellowship in the common room. There's also a quiet space upstairs in room 201 for people who want to gather together a little more quietly, and there is coffee service up there as well. We have a few announcements today. First of all, you may have received an animal mask when you came in. We are telling a 4-part story today over the course of the service, and the story involves some animal friends, and when we get to part 4 of the story, there's a time for a little audience participation. Get to part 4, when you hear the bell ring, that is your musical cue to raise your mask up high. If you want to participate, have your mask ready, listen for the bell. I want to draw your attention to the new announcements section of our order of service so you don't miss out on some important information. There are 2 special events happening during coffee hour today. Upstairs in the bacon room at 11:30, there is an immigration justice team presentation. Downstairs in the lower level, there is karaoke and donuts for all ages led by our new DFDC, Nate. So, immigration justice upstairs, donuts downstairs. It is a choose-your-own-adventure day here at First Parish. And then this afternoon, we are having an amazing 4A concert at 3 p.m. So please see the insert in your order of service, and please plan to come and support this amazing event. Finally, next Sunday, October 6th, is our annual Spirit of Democracy service, and I'm happy to report that our guest speaker will be the Reverend Dr. Kevin C. Peterson of the New Democracy Coalition, who's going to come and talk about his work around reparations and justice-making. After that service, there will be a Q&A with Reverend Dr. Peterson and our very own Minister Emeritus, John Gibbons. That is next Sunday. Now, I would like to invite up Mariah Tumbleson-Shaw and Doug Denny Brown of our Social Responsibility Council for a special message about our Share the Plate program.
Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Mariah. And we are members of your wonderful Social Responsibility Committee.
I'm sure you know this from reading the annual meeting report cover to cover each year, as I do several times, that your Social Responsibility Committee, SRC, for those in the know, is one of our many, many, many wonderful committees here at First Parish. We are 2 of 7 representatives on the Social Responsibility Committee here at the UU. We are here to remind some and inform others about this amazing committee and what we do behind the scenes and how we rely on your ability to vote to help us help some fantastic organizations by funding them on your behalf.
I'd just like to mention that my printer died and it says your vote adders, which I kind of felt I was just going to go with that. So your vote adders. Year over year, know it or not, you as members of First Parish, through your generous pledges and donations, have enabled us to allocate funds to the SRC so we can take action and put our money where our mouth is. On your behalf, we support social justice organizations with our treasure and provide a platform to amplify the good those organizations do and the services they provide. You have entrusted the 2 of us, as well as Pam Forsman, Heather Black, John LaFerriere, Elise Randazzo, and Jacqueline Olson to do this work. And it's a fun job. We give money to help people who are helping people. And we have given your, and I guess our money to some amazing organizations. You may remember or not, and you may have donated to them independently or volunteered with them and used their services. But to remind and inform you, and I feel like this should be like a Santa Claus level list here, in the past few years we have given to Sewing Opportunities, UUA Disaster Relief Fund, the Food Project in Lincoln, Stop Private Jet Expansion at Hanscom or Anywhere, the Cancer Connection, Lowell Transition Living Center, Transylvania Scholarship Fund, Second Chance Cars, UU Urban Ministry Roxbury Youth Program, Ukrainian Cultural Initiative, Tenacity Challenge, Sanctuary Boston Household Goods, Hashtag Team Seas, the Trevor Project, Bedford Emergency Shelter Fund, Celebration of Grassroots Boston, Under the Same Moon, World Wildlife Foundation, World Central Kitchen, the Neighbor Brigade, Myria Ukraine Relief, Planned Parenthood, Worth Now Prison Ministry, and the list goes on and on. I'm not going to use all of our time for this, but over 50 organizations in just the past several years.
I think Mariah has a future in TV, those TV legal notices have to go afterward. But right now, I'm sure you're wondering how we decide which organization gets these funds. Honestly, as with all things at First Parish, and rightly so, it starts with you. And today we really need your ideas. We rely on members to send us names of groups and to feature as Share the Plate recipients once a month. For once a month, we split the proceeds after the offertory with the organization who comes here to tell us about themselves, and then we share our money with them as well. So they get their message out and we share the money, and they like both. Both are important. Or specific grant requests, which we have thousands of dollars for, to fund operational work or specific program needs. We also rely on members to get the word out to organizations where they volunteer, pointing them to our very easy one-page grant document on the First Parish Bedford SRC's website.
Yeah, thank you. Did we mention that the grant forms are super short and very quick and incredibly easy to fill out? It's an important detail. Anywho, what does this have to do with your vote adders? Other than likely voting being on all of our minds these days. Because your vote here matters too, and we want to hear from you. Kind of like Bob Dowd as Dr. Frankenstein pronounced at a recent haunted house, we want your brains. Along those lines, if you got one, hopefully, if it hasn't fallen out yet in your order of service, you should find a yellow sticky note. We're interested in hearing from you what organizations you are involved in or give to that you believe could benefit from a small grant, $500 to a few $1,000. This is how we're going to poll you today. Please write the name of just one organization that you think should be on our radar. It may even be an organization we've given to in the past, and that's okay. And if you're on Zoom, please just chat that to the Zoom admins, and they're going to forward your ideas to us.
You could put two if you wanted.
If you want. But it's a small ask. Just one name of an organization you believe in that you think should be on our radar.
If you would like us to contact you and help you write a specific grant or share the plate request, go ahead and add your name. But most important is the name of the one organization so we can hear from you. Again, don't listen to anyone who tells you differently. Your vote matters in the upcoming election, but also here too.
Lots of great information is on our handy SRC page at First Parish's website. Thank you to Stacy Katz and our internet website team. Most of the organizations we've helped in the past are linked there. So if you want to see those names and you're interested in giving more, you can sponsor more, learn more, and if so moved, give more. And you'll also get to see some of this in action next week on October 6th during our monthly Share the Plate Sunday. Doug and I will be around at coffee hour today after the service if you have any questions, or reach out via email. And from the Social Responsibility Council and all the organizations we've supported on behalf of you here at First Parish and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mariah and Doug. Now, if you will please rise again, we will share our unison affirmation, which is in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia y el servicio es su ley. Este es nuestro gran pacto, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en espíritu de amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. Please be seated.
Good morning. This is part 1, the bear's arrival. Good Spring Woods was a pleasant place to reside. There was nothing to fear or no real reason to hide. Until word got out of a hungry bear with sharp teeth, sharp claws, and terrible, terrible bed hair. He woke up early from his long winter nap and was ready for a big early winter snack. The woodland critters heard the rumor from a tree who said the bear was coming and it would be best to flee. Frantic and scared, the creatures went to Stew, a friendly squirrel who often knew what to do. Stew told his friends, "Don't worry or fret just yet. I'll speak to someone wiser, an escaped classroom pet." So Stew asked Terry, the wise old turtle, if they should find a new home. Then Terry responded, "In your heart, I think you know. Now's the time to stay and take root in the ground. And when you do, strength could be found. Because when you think you can't, you won't. And when you say not now, you usually don't. So try, and you just may save Good Springs and save the day. So now more than ever, we all must come together and show others the way." Now please turn to hymn 1012, When I Am Frightened, in the Teal Hymnal.
1012 in your teal hymnal.
Thank you.
Part 2. Unity in Action. The next day in Good Spring Woods, Stu shared Terry's advice. It's best to take root, not to flee or think twice. As a group, we'll stand together, despite the stormy... Wait, hold on. Who are we forgetting? There's Felix, Racket, Ollie, Spike. Oh, where's Beverly the Beaver? Oh, not her, the critters cried. It's better we leave her. She's grumpy. She's stinky. She's missing a pinky. She'll be safe. She'll be fine. Let's not waste her time. Plus, we doubt a bear would eat a beaver. Trust us, Stu. We should leave her. Stu thought for a moment, and then he spoke. If we're deciding as one, shouldn't we include everyone? And maybe it's we who have misunderstood. Can we imagine that all bodies are good? The creatures were stumped. Stu had a point, so they made a decision to act in love and invited Beverly, who said, yes, I'll join the mission. Now more than ever, they were coming together, building bridges, making strides, and choosing not to hide, despite the looming shadow of the bear, who would soon be there.
Am I welcome here? Am I safe to sing or laugh or shed a tear? Will I be loved the way I am? Will friends be near? Am I welcome here? Am I welcome here? You are welcome here. You are safe to sing or laugh or shed a tear. We love you just the way you are, so have no fear. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. This is a place of peace and grace, where all God's children have a home. Within this free community, where all are loved and no one stands alone. All are welcome here. All are safe to sing or laugh or shed a tear. We love you just the way you are, so have no fear. All are welcome here. I am welcome
Part 3. The Decision. A few days had passed in Good Spring Woods when our creature's friend heard from a nosy old possum named Peter McIrv that the bear had come to a community nearby where the creatures weren't ready, and they were scared and surprised. The bear was said to have devoured their berries and fish, and chased them around like they were his next dish. And although the creatures survived, it was surely a tough time to be alive. Their homes were ruined, yes, destroyed, left a mess. So Stu, the squirrel, began to think of those who had less and asked, "Should we go and see if they need help?" "What?" cried some critters. "We need to protect ourselves. Let's ignore we ought, we can, we should, and focus on safeguarding our homes. This is our woods. And who knows, the bear could still be there." But after a long pause and a telling stare, Stu said, "Come on, guys, love is bigger than the bear." So together they decided it was time to hit the road and make sure the other critters were fine. And as a team, they came together and widened the circle that be, helping and including others, reaching out and building community.
In a world where we continuously face the threat of bears, both real and metaphorical, it is easy to feel helpless and afraid. But our squirrel friend Stu understands that we can find strength and comfort in one another, and that many hands and hearts can accomplish what one alone cannot. Whether you're a little bit like Stu, or his wise friend Terry the turtle, or perhaps you've arrived this morning feeling most like Beverly the beaver, missing a pinky and grumpy and maybe a little bit stinky, know that you are welcome here at First Parish, and not only welcome, you are needed. Your contributions, our contributions together matter. They truly matter. As a team, we come together to widen the circle that be and help and include others, reaching out to build community. Our offering will now be gratefully received.
Part 4. Confronting the bear. When the creatures arrived to help, there was no sun, just dark clouds in the sky, and actually no sign of anyone. Oh, wait, but who's that over there? Oh no, it's the bear. And then he spoke. Who's the unlucky winner to be my next dinner? Asked the bear with a grin. I don't know, said Stu, the squirrel who often knew what to do. But tell me something before one of us becomes your next bite. What's that growing on top of the hill, just out of sight? Look, Mr. Bear, right over there. Over where? The bear looked over to the hill. And what he saw gave him a chill. Hundreds of animals standing proud and tall, crying, we're not leaving our homes. We're not leaving at all. Then Stu said to the bear, now there are many of us and only one of you. Tell us, bear, what's your next move? With the group formed together, the bear trembled and fled. That's what I thought, said Stu. Now go back to bed. And from that day on, Good Spring Woods thrived. No creature lived in fear or felt the need to hide. And if you paid our friends a visit, it would be quite clear. This was a joyous woods, for peace now resides here.
No animals were harmed in the making of that skit. And real bears, of course, are not villains. Real bears have their place in the web of life, and they deserve our respect like all the rest of our animal neighbors, just from a safe distance. And funnily enough, the subject of bears came up just last night in a conversation at a church event. People were sharing bear-related Massachusetts stories of all things. And so I thought I would just check, right? Like, you don't get a lot of bears in Bedford, right? I mean, I didn't think so, but then there are like 16 wild turkeys roosting in my front yard at the parsonage right now, so that it can't hurt to check. Not a lot of bears in Bedford. No literal bears in Bedford. And that is good, because my seminary training did not spend a lot of time on literal bears. But this service, as I'm sure you have deduced, is not about literal bears. It's about metaphorical bears. And metaphorical bears range far and wide in this country, and they can wander into any community, and they have a real impact on people's lives. And some of those metaphorical bears have been roaming the American countryside for a long time now. Bears with names like prejudice or xenophobia, which is just a big word that means not liking people who are different than you. And those bears are as old as this country or older, and sometimes it may seem like they've gone into hibernation, but then other times they wake up and we can hear them roaring out in the woods. And right now, the bear called xenophobia is definitely wide awake and hungry, and he's making his presence known in places as far away as Springfield, Ohio, and as close as Woburn and Framingham and Quincy. And that particular bear is just going to get bigger and hungrier this fall as we get closer and closer to the election in November. There are some metaphorical bears like poverty and homelessness that live in every community all the time, but many people think surely the bear doesn't live here. And other people in that same community know very well that the bear is right outside their back door. Some metaphorical bears are newer and younger, but no less fierce, right? We are all seeing images on our devices now of the damage wrought by the hurricane on Florida and Georgia and North Carolina. Its impact was felt as far away as Indiana, where they don't get a lot of hurricanes. So hurricanes are part of nature, and they happen. But this particular hurricane was made a lot worse because of a bear called climate change, which is a newer and younger metaphorical bear, but has quickly grown to be one of the biggest and hungriest bears of all. Metaphorical bears can be just as scary to think about and talk about as real bears. People respond to metaphorical bears just like the animals in the story responded to the bear in the story. Let's run away and hide and hope that the bear doesn't find us. Let's just take care of the people we know best or the people we think are most like us. Let's let other people deal with that bear and not risk getting involved. Let's just be glad the bear visited some other community and not our community. In other words, let's do the thing that feels safe in the moment, but in the end is not actually safe. So my seminary training did not spend a lot of time on literal bears, but it did spend a lot of time on metaphorical bears because it turns out our Unitarian Universalist tradition has a lot to say about metaphorical bears. Ours is a religion about living in the real world, and the real world has bears, real and metaphorical. So the great 20th century Unitarian minister and theologian, James Luther Adams, was a minister who spent his formative years as an American in Germany in the 1930s. And he saw at that time how some particularly dangerous metaphorical bears with names like fascism and militarism and anti-Semitism had grown up in the woods of that country. And they were wandering around unchecked. And everyone was behaving like the animals in the story, hoping the bears would just go away, thinking that the bears could be someone else's problem, until they got loose in the world and caused a tremendous amount of harm. So James Luther Adams never forgot about that experience. He became a teacher, and he spent the rest of his career trying to teach Unitarian Universalists two things: that the metaphorical bears of the world have to be confronted, that it was not helpful to run away or to hide from them, and that the way to deal with them was to build bigger and braver communities that weren't afraid to stand up and show up and chase the bears away. Those communities would be strong in particular because they would be centered in love, and they would be committed to ideas like freedom and justice and fairness and belonging. They would imagine a world where everyone could live in peace and safety. And they would remember that the bears are always out there, metaphorically speaking. But we don't have to be afraid of them. We can stick together, we can show up for each other, and we have love and community, the best metaphorical bear repellent we know. You can't buy it in stores, but you can find it here every Sunday. And I thank you for being here and building this community so that we can confront and chase away those bears, metaphorical, that will always be a part of our lives. May it be so, and amen. And our closing hymn today is number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Please rise in body or spirit. Just a reminder, the Immigration Justice Salon is upstairs, karaoke and donuts are downstairs, and the 4A concert is right back here at 3 p.m. We close our service today with the words of the Children's Chalice Lighting, written by Asia Hauser and Susan Lawrence, and said in Sunday morning UU classes all around the country. We are Unitarian Universalists with minds that think, hearts that love, and hands that are ready to serve. Together we take care of the earth and work for friendship and peace in the world. May it be so. Go in peace.